Good evening, it's Norma Cowie, and I'm here with mental mind treatments and psychic compressions. And I have some um, names already that have been emailed or phoned or whatever before today, and myself as well. I just want to say, um, Marion says, "Good evening, Norma. Blessings to all." And remember, she works the Tibetan bowl while I'm doing my prayers. So that really helps to ground. And sorry for my voice. And guess what? The only thing I didn't do was bring water. So as I will have to just swallow lots of moisture from my mouth, I guess. And C. Turner says, "Happy Monday to you, Norma." Thank you very much. Yes, it seems, I know it's Monday, but it doesn't feel like Monday to me. I know it is because here I am. And I see we've got 4 of you already here. So that's great altogether. So 2 have named. I have my list already. And so I'm just going to go right on in. And Karen Marcus has joined us. So greetings. I will come to you in a moment. I've got a little bit of a lineup, actually. It's interesting. People are getting to know if they can't be on, they're phoning me and or emailing me. So the first person that I want to come to is someone that we have had on from time to time, and that's Helene. And this, once more, is about clarity about home and workplace. I picked the numbers. She says, "You can pick the numbers, Norma. 6, 4, and 3. 6 just means that she's confused. And that's true. That's exactly what we were talking about when we were talking about this. And that, in a way, she's very hesitant based on experience of things. But I just feel that there is this element that she knows that what she wants to do, she's just frightened to take the move. So let's see what treatment says about that. Okay. Knowing that there is one power in one essence, I speak my word for Helene. As I speak my word for Helene, I know that within her heart, within her soul, she knows which is the right move for her. And even though the mind can get busy and very much involved about all the what ifs and the maybes and the perhapses, that if she just listens to what her heart's desire is and what it is she really wants, and then has trust and faith that because she wants that it'll be brought with ease and with grace. Knowing this, I just freely and easily and welcomely move this on into the divine by saying, "And so it is." So it's like breathing. You take a big breath and you go, "It's okay. It will be all right," and come together. I also have, excuse me, have Kayla phoned, and she is so frustrated waiting for her surgical date for her knee. Eventually knees, but knees. They just haven't answered her. They haven't given. She's just getting very, very, very frustrated. So she said, "On as usual, Norma, you pick the numbers for me." So actually, I kind of worked on that a little bit. I got 3, which is Empress, 21, which is the World, and 5, which is the Hierophant, which is knowledge is needed. This whole thing is about creating the knowledge of when they're going to be able to go in there and do the surgery. So let's do a treatment on this, speed this up. Knowing that there is one power in one essence, I speak my word for Kayla. As I speak my word for Kayla, who also knows the way in which these mental mind treatments work, is that I know that in right timing and right place, that the perfect date, the perfect situation will absolutely unfold for her exactly as needed. By being relaxed and being open, her body heals itself even before surgery is done. She is absolutely prepared because all of the tension is gone, that she is able to accept where she's at, where she's going, And the words that she needs to hear, that on this date and this time this surgery will take place, is like music to the ears. And so I give thanks in knowing that the music to the ears is going to be occurring very soon, very applicable, and very aware. I give thanks in the knowing of this as I release this by saying, and so it is. I'm also putting something in here for our dear friend Karen B. Karen B has been on a holiday and just getting back, and in the airport she fell. So she fell on her wrist, and she's got some other couple of complications over there. So I thought we'd just send a nice friendly word and through a mental mind treatment of welcome back into this side of the world, and also to know that this healing that is required for this will happen smoothly, easily, and quickly. So I know there is one power in one essence, and therefore our friend Karen B can experience and know to, it's like breathing. I feel I have to breathe deep into my chest and allow that relaxation to move through the body, because when we're older and we fall, it's more of the shock than anything, because our whole body just can't believe it. We don't bounce like kids do. So I know that when I see this, is that I had picked three numbers, 17, 12, and 5. 17 is balance, 12 is acceptance, and 5 is really getting a little bit more knowledge. So there may be some more things that she needs to know. But I feel good about this. I feel that, okay, it's like home, relax, be, allow, and with it will come healing, relaxation, ease, and I feel my brain get bright. Oops, I made everything move. It was bright, all right. Everything gets bright, is in a sense of the direction of where you're heading. This is the beginning, actually, of many things, which is very good. Okay, now 007 texted me, actually. And again, dealing with the eyes, we got picked three numbers, 4, 11, 17. 4 is the emperor. Now, the emperor often is experienced, yes, but he has a cynical look at the world. He doesn't see the lightness or the brightness. He's very, this is how it is kind of thing. And the 11 is justice. So it's very much, again, like what is the law and how it is. And 17 is balance. Now, we've talked a lot about eyes and about releasing and letting go. I had the privilege of working with somebody this week where we actually had done a lot of work. And so we now got to go right down into the subconscious mind and pull the programming, of which there is quite a bit, to help, not because we were looking specifically for the eyes, but just to see how much when we rethink the same old thinking and it's in the subconscious, it's got to be pulled out. And I do have to admit, I am so thankful that guides showed me how to do that. It's almost like, okay, you know how to do all this. Now, this is another piece that you can add. And I just trust that it'll all be really, really good. So when we work for 07, I know that the letting go of past experiences to come into the present and knowing that as you perceive life, as you see life, it will be delivered. It's one of the hard facts of life that most of us don't want to face, because you have a vast amount of knowledge and awareness. And I just feel it needs to be more fun, more light. It's almost like doing a different type of dance. And so I give thanks in knowing that the eyes of a 7, just by changing a perception, by letting go of the usual way of looking at life and the world and the memories of the past and the thinking of the future, is to create much more of a fluidity. It's like a dance. make it light, make it easy, flowing. So the eyes begin to sparkle with delight of life. I give thanks in the knowing of this as we release this thought, knowing that it is done and it is true. Okay. I'm coming back to Karen. Marcus says, I have 4, but I don't see the rest of it there. Hang on a minute. No, it does. There's part of that's missing, Karen. There it is down here. Okay. Aisha came in the middle of that somehow. We'll come back to Aisha in a minute. Okay. Karen M. All our Karens. 14, 7, 5, and 8. So 14 is temperance, which is balance. 7 is the chariot, is letting go of what's going on, letting go of the past. 5 is the hierophant, needing more information. And 8 is strength. I wish I knew what this was particularly about. We don't say that, do we? No. Okay. A lot of the readings since we began, Karen, has been letting go. This to me has a different feel to it. This to me is creating the balance as you move forward, utilizing what you know so that you have balance. So in other words, everything is in your command. You can make it difficult, you can make it easy. You can apply this on any situation in your life. I kind of want a little more lightness. You know what I mean by lightness? Like fun, laughter, joy. I want that in there. It's like you've got all the pieces. It's like the jigsaw puzzle's all there, but there's no life. There's no light. There's no whoopie doopie. Whoopie doo, let's go. So you can think about that. But basically, you're moving. I think the decision to move forward has been made, but now you're moving forward. And it's like having a flow. It's like when you dance, do you dance stiff or do you dance flowing? So, you might just want to put some music on and move freely into the music and see how that feels and put that in. So let's see treatment here. I know there was one power in one essence, and I know as I speak my word for Karen M, that I'm going to say the freshness of life, the strength of life, the unexpected of life is there to be enjoyed, to be experienced, and to have fun with, to flow with it, to allow it, not to make it so hard that it's brittle, but rather a flow movement. It's like when you're dancing, you make a soft movement. You don't make a quick movement unless you're doing one of those other kinds of dances. But it's like, I just give thanks and knowing that this is a great opportunity for you to experience flow, how to flow with things, how to have them become, I'm going to say, delicious and enjoy and be at one with it. And for that, I am truly grateful and say thanks. Thank you for Karen M and flowing. Okay, Keisha says good evening. Now, Lynette Duncan says good evening. Lynette says 3, 5, and 6 for confidence. 3 is the Empress, which is love and beauty. 5 is the Hierophant, more knowledge needed, just more awareness. And 6 is the Lovers, which tends to be confusing. I think this is choice. Lynette. That you have a choice to not believe in yourself, not trust life, and whatever you want to call the great design, that you trust, and that you don't get into confusions or maybes. Like, well, maybe it'll be work, or maybe this will go happen, or maybe that. It's that you become more like that empress. You love whatever it is you want to do, and know that the universe is going to support you. Because if you don't know the universe is going to support you, you're going to trip over your own feet, unfortunately. So what we need is confidence, yes, but you need flow with that. You need belief. You need to trust. You need to know that God's on your side. You need to know that beautiful poem you wrote is so true. We're all one. Are we allowing the oneness of that light, that love that is there, to help us, to guide us, to hold us up, so that we can flow easily with all things to be? I give thanks in knowing that Lynette is like right on the verge of accepting that light, that love, that universal presence is there for her always, every time. And to be able to flow with that, with ease, with grace, and with an awareness of being. I give thanks in the knowing of this, because it brings great delight. And I say, and so it is. Amen. Thank you. Akisha. Okay, I haven't read it yet, but let's see if we're still dealing with that lower back of yours. Treatment, yeah, for your lower back, pelvis. It starts getting better as I go through physical therapy, but then flares a bit again and again. Maybe that's a part of the healing journey. I think by the numbers that you gave me, that this is you doubting yourself, waiting for it to happen. Like, when we move our body, maybe something way, and there's a little twinge or something. After having a lot of back issues at one time in my life, I know that, because your eight is strength. You've got the strength. Death is showing that you're leaving the old and moving into the new, but your emotions with 15. You get emotional. When you get emotional, it all goes into your back, because that's your support system. Your back supports you. Now, what are you going to do with your back support? Are you going to hand it over to the light or God or whatever you want to call that energy? I call it the love, the love vibration. You've got to figure out where you're going to get that support from. Your back will give you the support. It will strengthen. It will grow in time. Sometimes you just have to be gentle with it, because all those muscles have to get strong again. But you have to believe. You have to believe right in there that it is there. Yes, it starts getting better. But then something comes along and you get emotional. Every time you get emotional about it, your back's going to go, what's going to go on? I don't know what's going to happen. So you're going to stay relaxed, and everything will flow. Everything will flow. I give thanks and now as we move into treatment, because I'm going to give loads of thanks here for Akisha knowing her own power, her own strength, her own connection. So when she gets upset, when she gets emotional, she can stop, breathe it out, and come back into her body. And that is her lower back and like her pelvis area. That's our strength. That's where we come from. We don't come from our heads. We don't come from our chest. Those have other elements to them. We come from being in our bodies, because we're going to go forward in life. And Akisha, you're getting there. But it's about you recognizing when you get upset or emotional, and finding another way to breathe that out. Okay. So I know that one power and one essence, that Akisha has strength and power that she can trust in the universal love force, whatever name she wants to put to it. Knowing that energy is there for her, in every moment, in every way. When she gets upset, she can make a little package of that upsetness and send it off to be taken care of outside of her body. So her back stays strong, that she can cope, she can deal, she can maneuver, and she can work clearly and easily. I give strength. Oh gosh, do I ever give thanks for knowing that? So that is one, and it is all in being. And for that, I am very, very thankful. And so it is. Math so 7. Hope you are feeling better. Yes, I'm getting there. I tell you, it's another story, but anyway. Karen Marcus says, makes so much sense. So helpful. Thank you. Leroy, hope you are feeling better. See, people just seem to, when I'm talking, I sometimes say too much. I want a treatment to believe in myself. Believe. Can't even spell it. Boy, that's interesting. 5, 7, and 16. Leroy. Let's have a little talk about 16 is the devil symbol, if I remember rightly, or the moon. No, moon's 18. No, devil's 15. What the heck? The tower, I think is. Gee, I'm lost. 15, 16 is the tower. When we have a great fear of things being taken away, because somewhere in our lives, often when we're little, things are being taken away from us, or we've been placed to believe we can't have. It has a mark. It's like a fingerprint on the life. What it shows here is that through your knowledge and awareness, you can leave that behind. But the fear that something is going to happen that you have no control over. We have a lack of control over a lot of things, but we have control over ourselves. And in having control over ourselves, we can let things go. This is about belief. No matter what. You're very logical, Leroy. Things you work at have things making sense, because you can understand them if it makes sense. But I'm asking you to go one step further, is to trust the process of letting go, of trusting the process when something comes in that you have I'm going to say a right to reject it and say, I don't need that, or I don't want that, or that is not part of me. And you'll notice the movement of my hand. It's kind of like a lot of in the Christian order things where they say, get behind me, Satan, like, go away. No, 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 no. And sometimes things happen that upset us. Stuff's going to happen. But if it upsets us, how we respond to that is what really becomes important. And a lot of it, when we're in growth and process and becoming more at one with the divine essence, then what begins to happen is that we realize we need to change how we respond. We need to change how we look at things. I mean, I quite often have to stop and go and say, what am I doing here? I know better than this. What am I doing this for? And so getting back on track. One thing that mental mind treatments have done for me greatly is to keep me on track. And so, Leroy, we're going to do a treatment. Knowing that there is one power in one essence, and knowing that you're on an incredible journey, not only of self-discovery, but recognizing the essence of who you are. There is an element of fear that it won't work, or something will happen to take it away, like that. And I want you to understand that when you work with a power of love, when you know within your heart this is something you want or to feel or to be, however it fits, is that that universe lines up behind you. And even sometimes it feels we trip. I'm not going to say we fall, we trip, or some little thing happens that kind of upsets us. We just recenter. And in the recentering, you believe. You believe how powerful. Actually, you believe and you accept how powerful you are. And this goes to everybody on this list here. It's not just one or two that can do that. Everybody, like Akeisha, who needs to really understand her power, to allow it to come in and be. And so it flows in such a wonderful, easy way. For there is love and light and beingness for each person. I said this other day, it's like your connection is incredibly important because you can feel and know you're part of it all. But when you get too much in your head and you start trying to, oh, I don't know if this works, I don't know if that's going to be, you start fussing it mentally, it separates you. Remember, there's the mind, there's the feelings, and we got to have those two in alignment. So, and usually it's the mind that creates the issue. Usually it's the mind that is, what about this and what about that? And maybe this will happen, or maybe that won't happen. And what will I do if this happens? And what do I do? Oh, you get so tired. But also you've got to remember every thought that goes out is like a corner, is like a flagstaff, like a brick on your path. And the thing is, you want that to be a positive response, that no matter what occurs, you have the power to create what you want, because that is that connection of what you want with the source giving you what it is you really are wanting. And that's not always understood because it doesn't show up how you want it, when you want it, in the bow that you want it in. Sometimes it doesn't because it can't, because you've got certain other disbeliefs, misbeliefs, disbelief, whatever you want to call that, that counter the miracle that is waiting for you. And that's why we have Monday night, so that we can tick away at these things. You can hear what's said for others. You can piggyback on the treatments, because even though we do a treatment for one, it can be applied to anybody else. How I learned so much over the years was when I was working with a center and doing treatments. First of all, learning how to do them, then doing them, and doing them often. That's what I love about Monday nights, is because I really get to do a lot of treatments and I love it. So I want you to know that everything is going good. Okay, Mass07 says, thank you very much. Oh, thank you so much, Norma. Leroy's treatment helped me too. See, that's the wonderful thing that's coming out of this. People are listening to another people's treatment, and sometimes they record telling us, hey, that helped me too. How often that's happening pretty weekly now. And that's because you're opening up to possibility. You're opening up to words that resonate. And that's what treatments are for, is to open the mind, to allow the energy in, to allow it to be part and one of all things. So we don't have a big night tonight, but I understand that. So I think I've got everybody in here that I was supposed to get in here. So if you have a final message, stick it in, because I'm going to wrap up with lots of love and light. What was I thinking today? I was thinking that, oh my goodness, it's disappeared. It's flown away like birds' wings. I thought, oh, I should have a little workshop about that. Now I can't remember what it was. Oh, well, it'll come again. For sure it will. Anyway, you have a great week. Remember, we will be having Wednesday's morning's talk, which I have no idea what that's about at the moment. And then again on Sunday. But I'm also going to put in there somewhere in there a little are you aware? So you have a good week. Blessings, enjoy. Big breath. Lots of love. Bye now.